Welcome back to Trading 360. I'm Nicole Petalides. Joining me right now, James Kostulias is with us, Head of Trading Services at Charles Schwab. Thank you so much for being with us. James, a record day here for the S&P 500 and the Dow, so it's a lot of fun to be able to speak with you. Markets have completely turned around. You are here to talk about the latest Schwab Trader Sentiment Survey, the importance of trading at Charles Schwab. I'd like to hear a little bit about some of the bullishness in this.
Yeah, thanks so much, Nicole. It's great to be here. It's great to see you. Yeah, we're 53% bullish. That's the highest since the survey started back in 2021, and up from 32% last quarter. So a really big jump. To complement that, we had a big jump in sentiment on our ability to avoid a recession from 23 to 48. And 20% more traders think it's a good time to bring money in or invest in the markets over the course of the next 3 months. So I think some of that uncertainty that certainly still exists and certainly is real, but some of it's starting to fade away a little bit as our traders become a bit more confident here, which is great to hear.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have this proprietary information. We get to see what everybody is doing, how they're thinking. And it's interesting how so many, 49% of the traders believe it's a good time to invest in equities. They are feeling confident, to your point of that 53% reporting this bullish outlook. What do you think is driving that?
Yeah, I think in addition to the bullishness and the macroeconomic conditions, there's a growing confidence. And one of the things that we're seeing is our traders are spending more time on their analysis. They're spending more time on our tools and platforms like Thinkorswim. They're consuming more education. They're consuming great content like the network here. And I think all of those things combined are helping traders feel more confident in the decisions that they're able to make. And all of those are sort of pillars of what we call Schwab Trading, powered by Ameritrade. And it's great to see growing comfort in the macroeconomic conditions and sort of, I guess, that belief that the sort of Goldilocks landing is a bit more probable. But when you combine that with the work that they're putting in and they're doing the homework to get to almost 70% confidence, regardless if the market takes a little bit of a hit or continues on a bullish run, is really fantastic. And I think it's a huge testament to everything that's been going on here.
Right, and as the market hits highs, I always love when people's 401ks and IRAs and maybe some of their trades are doing well. I know people trade both sides, so I don't want to seem like I'm favoring one side, but for the long-term investors, they certainly benefit on record days. And within the survey here, I also saw feeling good financially. 54% are feeling good, and that's up 21 percentage points quarter over quarter. That's pretty impressive when we have almost 35 million accounts, over 5 million active daily trades. People are getting really involved.
They absolutely are. And I think what they're saying now in their sentiment matches well with some of their actual activity. So we also have the Schwab Trading Activity Index, which we produce monthly, which is behavioral as opposed to attitudinal. So we've got the sentiment, and then we've also got the data from that massive client base and all of the trading activity that we see, which in this case is dovetailing nicely. And so as we get into the sort of the sectors and some of the specific industries and names clients are bullish about in the survey, we're also seeing behaviorally, those are the actions our clients are taking. So not surprising to note, bullishness in healthcare, bullishness in IT, supported by actual real life actions and trading we saw in January, where our clients were net buyers of companies like NVIDIA and Microsoft. And then when we hear bearish sentiment for things like financials, backed up by our clients being net sellers of a Bank of America as an example. And so we're really seeing this convergence between what our clients are saying or what they're thinking in the market and what they're actually doing and the actions they're actually taking with their real life trading patterns.
Isn't that nice when they are actually acting the way they are thinking? Because sometimes you see the opposite, right? Where maybe they're acting one way or they're worried. I mean, for example, consumers are racking up debt on their credit cards, but they're still spending. You know, it's sort of like scratch my head, right? But the monthly Schwab activity index is showing and supporting some of these theories. Now, to the downside, there were some concerns with these surveys and such. Bearishness, maybe international. Was that something they were a little bit more skeptical on?
Yeah, I think that it came through loud and clear in the survey that the geopolitical environment is still high on the worry list. Macroeconomic conditions, absolutely high on the worry list. It's also interesting the way we ask the questions. We want to understand what's top of mind to our traders on their worry list, but also, you know, what do they believe will have the highest impact of the market? And again, sometimes those dovetail. Geopolitical certainly won the election, certainly won. But clients are obviously worried about inflation for sure, and what the Fed is ultimately going to do here as we get into next year for sure. The election is something that wasn't high on their worry list, but was high on their list of things that they believe could affect the market materially. So I think again it gets into sort of that combination of probability and materiality that leads you to ultimately some interesting insights. And I do think back to the broader geopolitical situation, obviously some pessimistic perspectives on international would make sense as well.
Right. Right. I'm glad you mentioned some of those forces, those headline risks as well. I know AI, value, growth, domestic, those were some of the other things that people seemed interested in. We just finished talking about inflows into ETFs. Final word, James Kostulias.
Yeah, I think what you pointed out there is spot on. And I think we've got a little bit of divergence here on the bullishness of AI with the bearishness of crypto, where some people sort of, you know, think those would probably be a little bit more correlated. So back to your point, it's nice to see behaviors and sentiments meshing. It's also quite interesting when they go the other way. And that's why we continue to quarterly survey our massive amount of traders and then look at the actual data behind it and bring those together and help everybody look for insights and what it could possibly mean to help them with their trading activity. Really appreciate the time today, Nicole.
I'm thrilled. Schwab has such a depth of capabilities and offerings for individual investors, and this would be one of them. To have this first quarter trader sentiment survey, it really gives a glimpse into how people are trading, how they're feeling, as you noted. Thank you so much. James Kostulias, Head of Trading Services at Charles Schwab.